The resurgence of Manny Pacquiao? No, not really. At least we'll discuss. Robert Exley, editor-in-chief of boxing.com, is obviously with us via Skype. Britton Harden could not make it today. He is out of town. So we do have Robert, the originals here on TYTSports. So Robert, firstly, Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. Obviously, Pacquiao, he, in my opinion, won the first fight. He ends up winning this one as well. What did you like about Pacquiao?
Well, I liked that he fought every round. That was something that he didn't do on the first fight, and that was significant. He was able to deal with what Bradley brought to the table, which was not really what Bradley probably should have brought to the table. He said he was going to knock out Pacquiao. He attempted to knock out Pacquiao, but of course, Bradley is not a knockout artist, so it was misconceived from the start. And I like how Pacquiao adapted to it and was able to overcome what Bradley was putting forth.
He adapted to it, but still, for me, the hand speed was good. I would say it was slightly deteriorated, and we saw that in the Brandon Rios fight with a guy who just wants to throw bombs, and then Bradley simply not copies that entirely, but it seemed like Bradley's strategy throughout was to land that one big shot, load up, even though he is not known as a knockout artist. So with that aside, what exactly was the strategy that actually worked in this fight for Timothy Bradley?
Well, there was no strategy that worked for Timothy Bradley because he lost the decision fair and square. His strategy was really to try to out-macho Pacquiao. He wanted to make a point. He wanted to prove to all those people who think he didn't win the first fight that he could win the second fight and win it decisively. But instead of playing to his strengths, which are boxing speed and skill, he was basically playing into Pacquiao's strengths, which was coming forward, trying to go for a knockout punch. Not intelligent, not a good strategy, and of course the end result reflects that poor strategy.
See, now here's the thing. Here's where I'll respectfully disagree, is that in those middle rounds, and we talked about it before we went on, the first 3-4 rounds, action-packed, fun fight. And then through the middle rounds, 6, 7, 8, you could say, there were maybe 1 or 2 good flush shots that landed. But they sort of took their foot off the gas pedal, and Bradley did especially, because throughout those rounds, he was continually backing up. He went up against the ropes. Now, I thought personally that he was trying to tire out Manny Pacquiao, which clearly did not work in his favor at all. Wrong strategy throughout, backing up a lot as well. But when he initiated the fight, and when he started going forward against Pacquiao, did you see a shift in the guard of this fight at all, or was it just all Pacquiao all the time?
Well, it wasn't all Pacquiao all the time. I mean, I think that Bradley was strong in the first third of the fight. There's no question about it. He was dominating the action. He was controlling the pace of the fight. He was bringing the fight to Pacquiao. But then in the middle rounds, perhaps because he got injured, because he alluded to being injured at the end of the 6th round, Bradley basically went on the defensive. As you say, he was backing up. He was sort of trying to counterpunch Pacquiao, which might have been a good strategy if he hadn't been injured. If he had started that at the beginning of the fight and frustrated Pacquiao, it might have really worked to Bradley's advantage. But for some reason, and we know what the reason is. I mean, he felt as though he had something to prove. Bradley always feels as though he has something to prove in every fight. And so he came into this fight, again, acting as though he had something to prove. And this time, he maybe yet again failed to prove it.
Now, I had it even through 8 rounds. And again, everyone is going to be objective, and I truly understand that, and I value those people's opinions. I like hearing diversity on everyone's scorecards. But I did have Pacquiao winning 9, 10, 11, and 12 to close out the show, and I thought he did it beautifully. But let me just ask you this. Now, obviously, he won after 12 rounds, and as well as he should. He totally outboxed and outclassed Timothy Bradley, who, again, tried to macho his way into beating Manny Pacquiao. Maybe not the strategy that one should adapt to fighting Manny Pacquiao. But look, for me personally, in the Brandon Rios fight, his comeback fight against Juan Manuel Marquez, when Marquez knocked him out cold in that fight, yeah, he beat Rios. Didn't look great. He obviously looked better in this fight. I thought he looked faster in this fight. But there's a certain part that I feel like is just completely degraded from Manny Pacquiao. Do you agree?
I do agree. He's 35 years old. He's sort of an old fighter in a young man's sport. He's been in a lot of wars. He is distracted. with his political career. And of course, he suffered one of the most devastating knockouts in recent memory at the hands of Marquez. So, given the givens, and also, I mean, just given the givens, Pacquiao really performed really admirably under the circumstances. He has slowed down. His hand speed has slowed down. His foot speed has slowed down. His punches lack the pop of the Pacquiao of old. But he, again, came into this fight pretty much the underdog for all intents and purposes, and fought the fight that he needed to fight in order to beat Bradley. Again, he was helped in large extent by Bradley and by a sort of faulty strategy, but Pacquiao did what he needed to do to walk away with the victory.
What I was hoping to see, and I mean, like in retrospect, I think what I was hoping to see, I thought Bradley would win. I really did. But I also sort of wanted to see a knockout, and it's hard to knock out Bradley. But for me personally, and as Britain has said a million times on this very medium, if Canelo were to knock out Shane Mosley, that would have proved me a little something more about Canelo. For me personally, if Pacquiao were to knock out Bradley, that would have proved a ton more to me than a decision win. He landed some good punches. There were some good combinations, especially when Bradley was a little tired up against the ropes, and then Pacquiao would back off, and Bradley would be like, all right, come on. Because some of them would land, some of them would not. But wouldn't it show you just a little more? And I mean, I think I know the answer, but wouldn't it show you just a little more if Pacquiao were to knock out Bradley?
Yes, perhaps, except nobody's ever knocked out Bradley. Nobody had ever defeated Bradley. And Pacquiao I don't believe he's had a knockout since like 2009 or something. It's been a long time since Manny Pacquiao's been a knockout artist. So to want it is one thing, but to realistically expect it is perhaps another. I wasn't expecting that. Bradley's a good fighter, and he's an excellent defensive fighter. When those punches come, he moves his head with those punches. I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing in the ring. And I would love to see a knockout also. It would have been wonderful, really decisive. Pacquiao is back, but Pacquiao is not back. Pacquiao is where he is now, and hopefully he'll remain where he is during his next few fights and not dissipate any further.
What about Pacquiao's mom? Did you see Pacquiao's mom? Yes, we did. We're choosing not to discuss it. So moving right on, Floyd Mayweather is obviously going to be the big name, but we all know what's going to happen. That will not occur. What exactly will be the next fight? Should there be a third fight, which I personally do not believe needs to happen and needs to occur, but a third fight with Timothy Bradley, a fifth fight with Juan Manuel Marquez. What do you think, Robert?
It looks like the next fight is going to be a fight with Marquez, and perhaps after that there will be another fight with Bradley. I mean, Top Rank does not have a deep bench, and it really is a problem, and we're seeing the evidence of that problem in these number of rematches. You're right about there being no need for a rubber match between Pacquiao and Bradley. That is resolved as far as I'm concerned, and yet when it comes to money, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters what the promoters think. So don't be surprised if a year from now, maybe a year and a half from now, Pacquiao and Bradley fight for a third time.
Unfortunately, that is the day and age that we live in, with promoters having all the power and us just being a small little voice that pays our tickets, watches on HBO pay-per-view, and are not valued at all for our thoughts. Here's the last question that I'll ask you. We talked about Manny Pacquiao ad nauseum. What about Timothy Bradley? I mean, is this a bad loss for him and his career? I mean, what do you think?
I don't think so. I mean, it's his first loss. I mean, again, he lost to Manny Pacquiao, which is certainly a major player in boxing. Even a diminished Manny Pacquiao is a major player in boxing. Bradley's a good fighter. Bradley is 5 years younger than Pacquiao. Bradley has incredible gifts. He doesn't have a knockout punch, which works against him. But Bradley's career is not over. Bradley's career is far from over. I'm happy he's making money. So many of these fighters fight and don't make a cent. They have their brains scrambled and they walk out with nothing. I'm happy Bradley's making money. I'm happy he has a career, and I hope that his career continues and that he doesn't fight Provodnikov again.
Oh, please, God, no. I don't want to see any more concussions from Timothy Bradley, being knocked out on his feet, essentially. Here's the last question that I'll ask you. I mean, I didn't even ask. Who would you like to see Manny Pacquiao fight next? You said that Top Rank does not have a deep bench. I completely agree with that. But who would you like to see him fight next, and who do you think the people would like to see him fight next, aside from what we will never see, which is Floyd Mayweather?
I mean, obviously, everybody wants to see the Mayweather fight, but the shelf life on that has expired a long time ago. For them not to have fought is equivalent to the 49ers not playing the Seahawks or the Yankees not playing the Red Sox. If that were to have occurred in either the NFL or MLB, both of those sports would be a laughing stock. And yet, that's what's happening in boxing. It's really a pity. But now, who cares? Who cares who Mayweather fights? Mayweather is doing his victory lap. Pacquiao will continue to fight because the money is good, not because he can continue to win, even though he put on a good performance. But the money is just too good. He can't turn away from that. He's a gladiator, and he's going to go out on a shield because that's what gladiators do.
Very well put, Robert, and we'll end it there. Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of boxing.com. You can follow him on the Twitter at boxing_com. Follow his great writing at www.boxing.com. Robert, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.